Hello and welcome to Fortune Print. I'm your host James, and there's a lot I need to talk about. So, last month I had been super busy thanks to military stuff. I will try to talk about it at a later date, but today I want to focus on getting the business up and running again. So, what is my plan? So, on the 4th of July, which at time of recording is tomorrow, I will try to, in the morning, get the trademarks done. I already have a picture. I just need to officially, purchase the picture and all that stuff. And then actually trademark it. I have a new name, which I will be announcing on that day. Unfortunately, I was unable to actually get the site I really wanted to up and running. So I will use Shopify again. And I think I'll stick with Shopify until we actually start becoming a somewhat successful business and then open up shop elsewhere. But tomorrow I will get a Shopify account up and running with the new name, the new shop, and all that stuff. So that's going to be the first two things I do. Of course, when I actually officially open up, that's when I will announce everything. And don't worry, before I announce it, I'm going to trademark everything. That's just for personal safety more than anything, because I don't want my business to be trademarked by somebody else while I was actively selling, and that whole trademark system is weird. Anyway, so I want to at least get those three things done on the 4th of July. After that, I will try to get everything back up to the same quality I had before and get things running properly again. So again, I thank you all for your patience. I do not know if the shop will actually open tomorrow, considering I don't have pictures of the products to work with, so I don't know if it's worth actually trying that right now. But I will open up soon, and I'll have everything placed and all the bricks laid tomorrow. I meant to do things yesterday and today, but I had some friends that had some issues I needed help with, and of course, I also had to get back to work, and that was something I can't hold off. Because as much as I love the idea of running a 3D printing business, I need income. But the good news is a lot of my debt had been reduced, cut in half. And the reason why that's important is because the sooner I can get to stockpiling money, the sooner I can save up. The more I save up, the more likely, or not more likely, the better chance I will have of getting higher quality items, higher quality products, that kind of stuff. Now, for a while, I will be on and off. I'll try to have my partner upload videos. I don't know if he did or not. It didn't look like it. So we kind of need to talk about that. Not a big deal right now. But in the future, I'll just need to know if I need to announce when I'll be taking hiatus or things like that. Can't always talk about what I want to. But anyways, so because of all that, if everything goes well, even if this shop doesn't do that well, I will still be able to earn a large income here soon. And if everything goes well there, or not a large income, sorry, my bad, a large surplus of money. And if that happens, oh, you better believe I'm going to have a lot of nice toys coming to my house. Now, on to other things. For those that watch my Twitter, number one, you might have noticed I've been talking to a lot of Japanese people. And number two, I did talk about getting my hands on a VR headset. Now, why is a VR headset nice for this particular instance? Well, that is because VR has some tools like Sculpt VR. Now, Sculpt VR is a sculpting tool that is done on the inside of, well, VR, of course. Now, for me, why is that a very useful tool? Simple. It's because the block mode on it, when I was using it, I could actually make some high quality looking things. That's something I haven't really been able to do in the past. So using Sculpt VR, if everything goes well, I can actually make my own products without that big of a deal. Now, that being said, what is my lineup of products that I intend on selling? Well, you might have noticed again on my Twitter that I announced something, an old idea refurbished into a new product. That is because in the past I had tried to use lithophanes. Well, the problem with the lithophanes is I need custom images, I need this, that, the other stuff, right? However, I had just been on a trip, on an adventure, that with an event that is already publicized, so sending pictures is not that big of a deal. So what if I turned that military stuff into lithophanes? You know, just saying. And of course, that picture is going to be one of the first ones I do that with. And in the future, of course, I'll have more, and I might have like 5 or 6 already on the line. And in case you're all wondering, I have already received permission from some of my higher ups to do this. So again, I'm not hiding anything, I'm not spoiling anything, or not revealing anything, I should say. My brain. Anyway, so that is generally the plan I want to do with that. Now, some of y'all might have also seen that I had mentioned Golden Week. That being, what is Golden Week? Well, it happens at the end of May, so yes, I am extremely behind on this, but my shop wasn't open, so. But in Japan, there's a 5-day period of individual holidays that are back to back to back. These 5 holidays in a row make up Golden Week, because that's when like school's out, that kind of stuff for an entire week. And in Japan, their school system is, they have more days per year. It's like 245 versus our 180 or something like that. So to them, taking a week off is a big deal. It's a much bigger deal than it is in the States. Over time, I will have more products coming in. We're already talking about getting dissolvable materials to work with. Dissolvable materials are materials that when put in sorry about that, that when they're put in water, then, well, they dissolve. And for 3D printing, why is that important? Well, you might have noticed, at least on some of my earlier videos, that the that the supports on it were difficult to remove. Well, if we can use dissolvable materials, that will no longer be the case. And a lot of you might, or some of you might have noticed that my 3D printers are all one nozzle, type printers. So you're probably wondering, how is that going to work? Well, simple. The Bamboo, the same program I'm on here, they have their own 3D printers. And that was actually the printer that made or a while back I did a test with a 3D Benchy. I can't remember if I uploaded that video or not. That only took a half hour, which is fantastic because The Viper at the time was considered kind of fast, and that still took 3 hours. The Anchor Make, I can't remember how long it took, but it also took its time. And then, of course, the Bamboo Printer at normal speed did it in half an hour. That actually has a special system called an AMS. What the AMS is basically multiple reels. So, how the AMS system works is they've got RFID sensors, and some of the spools do not have these sensors or do not have these tags in them. And if that's the case, you just manually put it in. Not the end of the world. But anyway, so it'll actually auto detect what type of materials. Okay, the Bamboo Printer is not online right now, so or maybe it is, and my computer's just connecting to it. But anyway, so the AMS system holds up to 4 different types of reels. Reels, spools, that's where I get the materials from. Now, that being said, the Bamboo Printer can actually connect, or can actually use up one, or not use up, but spit out the filament from one spool and apply the other one, which will allow it to swap in the middle of printing. And that's important because that allows it to specifically make the supports into this dissolvable material, and then swap out with the regular spool, or the spool that we're trying to work with, and apply the material. And then when it's all said and done, the print's ready to go, we can take that spool, or take that material, or not material, but I cannot speak today. Take that product, dip it in water for a little while, let the dissolvable material go, and pull it out. Now, also, some of you who know how spools, reels, these printing things, you may hear that it's not good to, have a wet spool or a wet reel. So if you take that logic, you may think that having a wet product may be a bad idea, or a product that's been dipped in water. And that's not the case. The reason why it's bad to have a spool put in water is because it requires a lot of heat to melt it and put it where it needs to go, and it needs to be precise. Sorry about all the coughing. Anyway, so because you're working with a lot of heat, if there's water in there, then that water actually pushes onto the filament and messes with it as you're printing. Now, somebody had done some testing with some types of materials, and it seems like it's only a visual thing. Even after, or even printing after being completely submerged in water. But, I mean, obviously that's still not a good thing, at least with something like what we're doing. And of course, some materials like nylon or carbon fiber, you really don't want to even try that with. That being said, when the material is already made, the material is already created, it's not being melted anymore, it doesn't matter. It's not going to bubble up, it's not going to do anything like that. So, having a material that's been dipped in water, not a bad thing. And in case you're wondering, if a spool happens to get wet or whatever, you just put it in a dryer, or into a spool dryer, or if or if you're careful, you can put it in the oven and actually have all that heat melt, or have all that water evaporated out of it. So, that being said, I think I got everything I needed to talk about today, and sorry there was no script today. Been kind of busy, hadn't had time to make that script. But tomorrow, that's my official plan. I do work later that day, so I may not get everything done like I want to. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Actually, no, it's not that I work tomorrow. I work tonight. My brain. I'm just not even here right now. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this. Um, Hopefully, I've articulated a lot more of my plan right now. But anyways, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.